What's the worst piece of financial advice somebody has given you? When my mom said that she will hold my money for me as a kid. My grandfather was pretty wealthy and gave us 50 to 100 each birthday. My mom kept it safe for us. I'm pretty sure she used it at least once to pay the light bill when the power got shut off, so at least it went to good use. Never saw a dime of it myself. Don't worry about a career. Armageddon will come before you finish high school. My parents, Jehovah's Witnesses. Being raised a Jehovah's Witness really stunted my social and emotional growth. And them saying speak like college is a waste because you're learning worldly things and the end is coming soon, blah blah blah. Cunts. My father would tell me to maximum my credit card on a new car, and if they asked for payments just say FM. What are they going to do? My father is several levels of debt hell deep that he's trying to get out of now, but he's at least trying. What are they going to do? Send me to jail? But like, what really happens? If you don't pay your credit card bill, expect to pay late fees, receive increased interest rates, and incur damages to your credit score. If you continue to miss payments, your card can be frozen. Your debt could be sold to a collection agency and the collector of your debt could sue you and have your wages garnished. Basically they take payments from your wages. I don't know what happens if you don't have a job. I declare bankruptcy. Take out a 401k loan to build a pool. It will raise the value of your house. Hold on to those French francs. They will be worth a lot someday. I'm not holding my breath. Well, they probably will be eventually. In about 1000 years they may sell for something good at auction if well preserved. You'll be quids in. My aunt took me to a car dealership when I was looking to buy my own first car. I was looking at the clunkers I could afford, but she said I should be looking at the new cars. She said, the total price doesn't matter because you make monthly payments. I suddenly understood too well why she had always been so financially unstable. I had a car dealer say this to me once when I asked the price on a 4 to 5-year-old car back, quote, the actual price doesn't matter. It's the monthly payment that you really need to know. Had a rhyme, good mate, but cheers anyway. I walked away wondering how does he possibly sell any cars that way? But after reading this sub, maybe I'm wrong. So when I was 24, I was financially struggling. I had a job that worked me a lot of hours, but only paid me 10 an hour. My parents talked me into buying a brand new 2004 4-door Honda Civic. The pre-interest price tag on it was about $25,000. A few weeks after getting it, my hours got regulated, and it took one entire paycheck to make the monthly note on it. I could not afford the insurance on it. I very quickly realized my parents were bad at money. I think that's one of the hard things to swallow when it comes to growing up. Your parents might be speedy with money. I ignored a lot of my parents' financial advice, and I'm so glad I did. They both made decent money, but borrowed against their house, bought cars they didn't need, and paid for other ridiculous things. They basically live paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, even if they've recently robbed you, you should still lend them the $500 they need to move to another city. They're your family after all. Dad, I don't even know how mom married your dumbass. That an emergency fund wasn't necessary when you can always get a payday loan or use your credit card. He wasn't joking. Somebody needs to book this man's act. He knows how to generate interest. Once you cut up the credit card, you don't have to pay it. My cousin is not doing so hot. I'm pretty sure there are warrants out for his arrest in several states. I work for a bank. The amount of times I get customers tell me I just got a phone call saying I owe, but I cancelled my card. I tell them we never received a notice that they cancelled it. And they say, but I cut it up. Dude, if cutting bills up would solve anything, life would be great. One of my uncles once told me that I never really had to pay my phone bill. He suggested that I simply jump to another carrier and let the first company cut you off. His life has turned out exactly as you'd imagine. Spend it quickly, or it'll get stolen. Coming from someone with a history of losing and blowing their money. My father-in-law, when I mention our retirement plan, I never contribute to my retirement account. Money now is always better than money later. I needed to have a conversation with my husband, how we would not be supporting his mom and dad in their insane spending when they have no retirement plan and make huge financial mistakes on a weekly basis. Good news is they both make good money. Just ignore the collection call and eventually they will leave you alone. I didn't follow this advice. I had a parking ticket I didn't know about that ended up on my credit, and the guy I mentioned it to gave me that bit of wisdom. Spend whatever is in your bank account the day before payday. You obviously don't need it. 1976 San Francisco. Keep renting. No one will ever pay $35,000 for a 2-bedroom house and garage with a sweeping view of the East Bay. Added later, I went back to visit the old neighborhood a few years ago. Those $35,000 stucco homes up many flights of steps perched on the top of Potrero Hill were now all gentrified, remodeled, gated, and asking 1 meter, and that was 5 years ago. And now you live on Maui. When I got to university and opened a student current account, I received an interest-free overdraft of about $1,200. I wasn't entirely sure of what that meant. My brother informed me, so that's like your new zero, and encouraged me to use it to buy a new gaming PC. For the next few years I really wish I hadn't taken that advice. He's never been too amazing with his money, so I should have seen that one coming. Just get another credit card. My friend who hasn't worked in 3 years and is currently just vibing with his new credit cards he somehow got approved. 4. Don't take a raise if it puts you into the next tax bracket, and pay the minimum on your credit card to establish good credit. As others have pointed out, sometimes getting into another bracket or other threshold may affect other benefits such as food stamps and other government/non-governmental assistance. Mileage may vary. I was specifically talking about taxes. A relative tried to recruit me into Amway. He wound up stuck with a garage full of their products. Don't invest in a 401k. Luckily, I didn't listen. Put it all on black. These beanie babies are an investment in our future. Don't make more money. You'll go up a tax bracket and end up paying more taxes, so you'll end up making less overall. This isn't how taxes work, people. If you go one into the next tax bracket, only that one is taxed higher. You can't make less money by making more money. I got $90 and my 11-year-old son told me I should buy $90 worth of kazoos. No real plan past that. Know what's better than winning money on roulette? Doubling down and winning even more. Me to me. And if you lose, just keep doubling your bet. Ding ding ding. Winner. Join my MLM and make lots money. No. I've lived on my own since I was 17. I bought a car and worked my ass off to pay it off. It needed new tires, so I called my mom to ask her how to go about it. I literally didn't know tires had sizes, for Pete's sake. She told me to just go trade it in for a new car. And I've peeping listened to her. I traded a paid off 5-year-old car because it needed new tires. You guys. Guy I haven't seen in 3 years also wanted to talk me into starting a business with him because he just got into college for a bachelor's degree in business. Yeah, sure. Let me get my checkbook out in this badly illuminated garage while we are both drunk. Guy also got into MLM and weird self-optimization preachers. Don't major in computer science. Computer scientists are a dime a dozen. I did not take that advice. Not me. But my dad's friend makes a decent more money than him. He owns boats, takes luxurious trips, buys top of the line clothes, and goes to the best restaurant where he orders the most expensive wine he can get. He always tells my dad to live more in the moment, telling him to invest in himself and enjoy his life. My dad is happily planning his retirement with my mom. This guy doesn't have a dime saved. He will work to the day he dies. Legit got told to don't buy food. It's a useless investment like the hell. Get a bigger mortgage. You can deduct more from your taxes. Yeah, dumbus. And I'll be spending double that amount in interest, so why should I? Incite me to go to a real expensive restaurant where you can spend easily $250 without drinks at a time I only had $700 in bank account and had not paid for my car, groceries and stuff. Because come on, we only live once. Had a professor in this kind of bootleg college. He clearly took the job as a favor. He was some Wall Street type. He said he doesn't get why students who are young and have no assets don't just borrow a steep ton of money to pay for college, then declare bankruptcy, since they have no assets anyway. Aside from wrecking your credit, student loans aren't dischargeable by bankruptcy. Don't go to community college. You'll never get a job. Instead apply at X and X colleges. My grandmother, aunt, uncle, and cousin all told me this, and I really considered their advice because my parents really didn't give a peep what I did. Since I didn't get any scholarships from high school, I decided at least if I went to CC and didn't get a job I wouldn't have student debt and I could just do something else. I went to CC for 2 years totally free on FAFSA grants. It was $800 a semester lol, and did so well I transferred to a university with a almost full ride. I'm now a semester away from graduation with a job lined up and all of $4K of student debt, which is likely to be forgiven anyway. My cousin bought a camper, went camping once, and then decided camping wasn't for them. Rather than selling it, they decided to just stop making the payments and let the bank come and get it. Which, eventually, they did. My dad in 2008, don't invest that one. 000 into Apple. My dad in 2012, Tesla is a paper dream. Stock won't be worth the paper is printed on. What's the next thing he doesn't like? Just wondering. Someone gave me the great advice to take out a loan to pay off a loan. I didn't listen to this advice. They are now is 80,000 debt I'm not. About 5 years ago, I had a friend who was trying to convince me to study through a private college because they gave her a free iPad. She never finished the course, but kept the iPad. You only got to keep it once you pay your fees and graduate. Mind you, the price of the course included the iPad, so it wasn't free. So last year, 4 years later, I get a call from the college asking for her contact info. She put me down as a reference and they were chasing her down because she still owed her fees and wasn't entitled to keep the iPad. First year out at college, working for a financial advisor, and he tried to convince me to put 5% down and buy an apartment in Chicago. It was the summer of 2007. I'm sick of being poor. You just got your scholarship. That's so much money. You should totally buy a WI. An uncle told me I should rather spend my money and enjoy life because you only live once, rather than save your money to build up a retirement fund. I'm now in my 50s and corona unemployment has devastated the little bit of savings I had. Should never have listened to Uncle Jarvis. Let's go to the casino and double your paycheck. Keep it Turkish liras. High school guidance counselor told me not to go to a state school for college. Reasons were 1. I was the valedictorian, so I could do better. 2. If I wanted a good job after school I'd need a name on my resume of more respectable school. And 3. A better school would have more networking opportunities. Yeah, so that was a peeping lie. Now I'm in tons of student loan debt. And my first boss after college had gotten his degrees at the state school I originally wanted to go to. Eater. I'm an engineer. He knew I was going into engineering. Not exactly what the question's asking, but my mom has an aunt who thinks the bank is just giving you free money when you use the ATM. Don't pay off your entire credit card balance when the bill comes. Pay it slowly so that it shows your ability to pay debt over time. This will help your credit score. Someone told me they turned down a promotion/raise to stay in a lower tax bracket. Follow your dreams.